From the studios of Tucson Business RadioX, recorded in the Stewart Title corporate offices on Broadway, you are now listening to The Mark Bishop Show. And now here's your host, Mark Bishop.
Well, folks, let me ask you this. How would you like to help scientists fight COVID-19 with your smartphones and computers from the comfort of your home? Well, volunteers are joining IBM's World Community Grid. It's a free, volunteer-driven resource to help scientists. The program crowdsources the unused power of volunteers' computers to perform virtual experiments. Would you believe? Ms. Juan Hindois is the Corporate Social Responsibility Manager for IBM. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks for having me on the show.
Tell me, what is the World Community Grid? How does it work?
As you described, World Community Grid is a way for anyone to help scientists tackle all kinds of problems. So for our latest project called Open Pandemics, we've partnered with a research team at Scripps Research in California who are trying to find treatment options to fight COVID-19. Now, to do that, they have to go through millions of chemical compounds and figure out which of them could work as possible treatments for the disease. And that's just not really practical to do in kind of a traditional lab setting. It's very expensive, it's super time consuming. So instead, they can simulate a lot of this traditional lab work on a computer and use software to mimic what would happen in the lab. But the challenge that they have is that most scientists don't really have access to their own supercomputer to do this kind of work at this scale. And that's where we and our volunteers come in by giving the scientists an opportunity to kind of spread those millions of simulations or virtual experiments, spread them across our entire volunteer community who have the World Community Grid app installed on their devices. And when those devices aren't being fully used, so for example, while we're chatting right now, or later on when I'm going to be checking my email, my computer isn't really doing very much. So instead of having that unused computing power just go to waste, why wouldn't you put it to use by running one of those simulations and hopefully the scientists find some treatment options for COVID-19?
Wow. Well, I was going to ask you, why is this mission important? But you know what? You've really explained that. It obviously fills in that big gap for the science community. It's just amazing how, you can say anybody can do this. I mean, who can participate in this?
Literally anyone, anywhere. So as long as you have a computer or an Android phone or tablet and an internet connection, that's really all you need. You don't need to have any kind of science or, techie background. You just install the World Community Grid application on your device, pick whichever project you want to support. So Open Pandemics is one of a number of research projects we're currently running. And that's it. You're good to go.
So this site then, the worldcommunitygrid.org, this is the site we're talking about. And anybody can go to that and download the app for, really all about it firstly, but you can download the app into a mobile phone as an example.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to have your listeners join our volunteer community.
Okay. Tell us about what types of results from previous projects that have been found using this technology.
We've been doing this kind of work on World Community Grid for a number of years. So we've had over 780,000 volunteers, as well as organizations, sort of sign up their devices and contribute their computing power to over 30 different research projects. So this isn't new to us, and we know this model can work. Through their contribution, we've seen scientists discover treatments for childhood cancer. They found new ways of filtering water more efficiently. They found new materials for solar cells. So it's really incredible and quite empowering to see what happens when our volunteers kind of come together and rally behind a cause.
And can you just repeat the number of people involved so far?
780,000 individuals and about 450 organizations.
Wow.
anything from small businesses to, big corporations and retail banks.
Wow, when this started off, did you expect that?
Honestly, no. It's really wonderful to see the community grow over time. And our volunteers are so passionate about what they do, and they're, such good ambassadors for the work that we do on World Community Grid. It's really wonderful to see them come to help and support, all kinds of emerging needs like COVID-19.
That's amazing. And if you've just joined me, let's revisit this for you. We're talking about a World Community Grid. Okay, the World Community Grid is a free and is a volunteer-driven resource that crowdsources the surplus power of volunteers, otherwise your idle computer, sitting doing nothing maybe, using it to perform virtual experiments. So we, including me, I'm going to get onto this thing, we the volunteers download a free and safe app that automatically performs virtual scientific experiments. Wow. I mean, it's head-scratching. The key is while my device is idle, that could be for a laptop or a desktop, even a phone, I guess, the app crunches numbers for scientists who are eager for every bit of processing power to run their simulations. Is that about it, Joanne?
Absolutely, yep.
So volunteers anywhere in the world can participate by downloading the app onto their desktop, laptop, or Android smartphone. It uses the IBM cloud to automatically distribute and collect the computational assignments on volunteers' computers. Results from the World Community Grid, we were talking about this project, they're shared with the world, right? And so far, more than 50 peer-reviewed scientific articles have been published. And scientists at Japan's Chiba Cancer Center Research Institute and the Chiba University used World Community Grid to identify, now this is fascinating, 7 promising drug candidates to treat neuroblastoma, one of the most common and dangerous forms of childhood cancer. That's amazing, Joanne.
It is, and what's amazing is that the techniques that were used on that project are very similar to the ones that are being used for our Open Pandemics COVID-19 project. So, we know this model can work, and we've seen it be successful in the past, and we hope people will join us so that we can get the data and the results back to the researchers at Scripps as quickly as possible.
So the Community Grid project on the coronavirus is Open Pandemics COVID-19. Now, where does Scripps come into this? Scripps Research. I know they're large and private. They're a non-profit biomedical research organization in the United States. How do they get involved with this?
So think of it this way. We at IBM are coming into this as sort of the technology arm, and they're coming into this as the science arm. So they're the scientists who are looking to figure out which of these millions of chemical compounds might be able to form a treatment for COVID-19. And we're providing the technology platform to do that. And we have a track record of working with Scripps Research on a number of other research projects. And so we've had sort of an ongoing partnership with them, and this is just building on that work.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, the coronavirus pandemic has reminded us all about the power and importance of helping each other. For many people, there seems to be little that they can do to help scientists, really. I mean, until I'd heard of this, I just felt like anybody else. Your hands are tied. What can I do? I'm not up there in that medical world and treatments, and all I can do is pray, I guess. Or they might be unsure how to get involved in the fight against COVID-19. A lot of people are like that. This has been, nearly 800,000 volunteers. Is that worldwide, Joanne?
Yes, from every corner of the world. Absolutely.
That's amazing. I wonder, how do they get to hear about it all? Online, I guess. You're IBM's Corporate Social Responsibility Manager. It sounds pretty heavy, that position. What does it cover exactly? I've never heard of that title before.
So corporate social responsibility is the social impact arm of IBM. where we take the various technologies and sort of our own employees' skill set and expertise in technology and apply it to solving all kinds of humanitarian problems in education, in health, in environmental issues, and so on. So World Community Grid is sort of a part of our number of initiatives that we run under corporate social responsibility. It really is, a really great way of taking technology and applying it for social impact.
Amazing. Well, you do a great job, Juan. Juan Hindois, ladies and gentlemen, IBM's Corporate Social Responsibility Manager. And if you missed it before and you'd like to get involved with this wonderful thing helping out with all the scientists and COVID-19, you can do it from your home. Go to this site, worldcommunitygrid.org. All right, www.worldcommunitygrid.org. A lot of info on all of that, and then you can download the app and so on. Well, good luck with the project, Juan. I mean, you're doing a wonderful job there with IBM. Thanks for sharing it with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
You're most welcome, and really good luck with it. Let's hope you get millions more all around the world helping out. Thank you.
Thank you.